What is up, my dudes and dudettes? Oh wow, if you didn't know how old I am before, you know now. I've been working since 7 AM today, and I realized just now that I haven't had breakfast, so I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. I stopped by Lidl and got myself one of their amazing croissants and got some cheap strawberries, and that is gonna be the most amazing breakfast ever. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and also read a little bit of this while I eat my breakfast and see how far I go and let you know my thoughts. Mom, you good? Yeah. So I've just started. I'm literally on this page, literally second one, I think. So it seems like the only reason this man is hoping is because the woman is so hopeful, so which makes me believe that she's gonna die and then he is gonna like carry on hoping and stuff without her. So far so good, literally the first page, but the art style is nice. There's nudity, but not like implied nudity, more like I'm just like suspecting everyone dying. Now we just met the son because he was like fixing something inside of the ship, and their whole family is leaving for sort of like a expedition thing because the daughters are learning how to, I'm assuming, drive, but the son is left behind. Now I think that the sun is gonna explode or something like that, and that something's gonna happen and that he's gonna perish, and that's gonna be the tragedy, and they're gonna be stranded in space. Probably not. So the first part is over, and the weird creature thingies took the children away, so no one died yet per se. When the father did lose his eye, which is pretty grim. This is definitely a grimmer comic than I thought it would be, but I like that kind of stuff and I'm actually enjoying it so far. I like the full circle of, you know, the beginning and how this chapter ended with the same stuff that it began with. So, you know, with our children thrive amid her irrational optimism, so do I, and that they will rise again and stuff like that. I kind of enjoyed it, so far not so bad. Hello, so I went to Yalk and I'm back now, and it's the last day of July and Newt starts tomorrow, so basically I have to read what I have left of Low today, well tonight, let you know what I think and go through your comments because I left it literally for the last day. Hello. It's been very hectic this month, so I'm not being too hard on myself, and also it's a comic book, so I should be fine. So I'll check in with you after the second one, I think. Yes, that sounds like a good plan. So the second part opens with a very explicit sex scene. I honestly hope no younger people were doing this. So we're following them for like 10 years afterwards, and it's much darker. And so we learned that the father has died and the woman is still holding hope, but she's like really struggling herself. But I really enjoyed the art in this part. Well, let me find it. In this part, I think it was really cool because it was such a contrast when it's just white and she's going to this like guru thing, and Marek, who is the brother, has gone to the way of drugs. I can't say I hate it, I can't say I love it. It's just okay, sort of interesting. Don't have many feelings towards it. It is definitely putting a lot of focus on hope and when to feel it and when not to feel it, and the danger of hope as well, because the family is basically falling apart because the whole family is just the son and the mother. And the mother is still like optimistic, and the son is obviously not really dealing with that well, and the hope that she holds stops him from moving onwards with his life, which I understand both of their perspectives, and I can definitely understand the son's perspective, because it's very damaging to be like that when you don't get to mourn, even though you shouldn't necessarily give up hope. But he's just about to get arrested for trying to kill the dude or killing the girl, but we received the message that a probe in contact about the world that could be inhabitable. So let's move on to part 3 now, and I have a little buddy here. Hey, little buddy. literally pinning me to the sofa because you know you can't move when you have a kitten on you. Oh my god, that scene with the senator is just basically a massive orgy. That was so unsettling. And for a second there we're led to believe that he's basically saying, okay, you can have the ship and whatever and the suits if only you give me a favor, and it's heavily implied that he means sexual one. But later on she says, oh, she shouldn't have exposed himself like that to me because I know where to put the pressure, and I was like, yes girl. Yes. Basically this whole issue was just the son hitting the lowest of the low, which I'm thinking is maybe the title, because they're in a situation that basically everything shit that could have happened. The son does try to take his own life, but the mother helps him, and they're arguing because of all of the history and all of the tension and everything together. But they escape the ship, they are drifting, and they're now with these massive dragon fish, and they're gonna use them to swim about. But I think they're finally stopped arguing for now, but the whole thing was just shouting back and forth. It is grim and really unsettling to see the senator scene, that what it was. It was sort of explained that these people are completely lost hope, and this is what happens. You try and live, or you try to forget everything that's so unsettling, the fact that you're running out of air, and it's basically the end of all humanity, especially for that guy in power of relocation, when he feels personally responsible for the whole thing. You can sort of justify them seeking pleasure and things that would take the mind off these things, because it's something really, really hard to live with, which is again why Marek was trying to do what he was trying to do. And so I think it actually has quite a lot of depth in this, even though it is quite shocking. I think it's supposed to be. Okay, part 3 is kind of annoying me. That mother needs to sort out her life. You can't just drag your children on a whim of some hope. That really annoyed me. This is basically showing that, oh, no matter what, you just hope for the best, and life is just a projection of your inner feelings, which is an absolute bullshit. You can't just rely on hope and risk everything for it. Sure, hope is good when applied to motivation, but you can't just act like that. Anyway, the mother is just like, you need to calm down and do things properly. But whatever, they found the girl, and then the boy said, oh, we thought you were dead, and then she got all angry, and she's like, oh, so you thought I'm dead, so you're dead to me now. And so she attacks him. Interesting turn of events. As I said, the whole hope thing sort of annoyed me. Part 4? Was it part 4? I think it was part 4, sorry. Yeah, it was part 4. I'm gonna take a little break now because I'm releasing some candles, so I have to take care of all of that. And I think then I'm gonna try and relax. And because it's probably gonna be late, I might read the comments tomorrow, but we'll see when we get there. Interesting. Hello. So let's talk about this. I've actually finished it. As I said, I think the last time that I checked in, I was still like okay with it. And then the last 2 volumes I just read yesterday, and my thoughts. Okay, so basically I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. There were a few things that really bugged me. I think the whole like idea of like this hope being this thing that warps reality, and that is a very dangerous idea to like lead people on, because I feel like she did definitely do dumb things by bringing her son into that danger, and then it was a hot mess, this whole thing. I feel like there were nice themes and there were nice ideas in it. The overall I felt like it really had potential, but then I also think that I feel like there's some sort of really fetishy dreams in there that I wasn't really okay with. Like every time, like there's no male nudity per se, but every time a female is like captured or whatever, or even like just walking about, even the daughter of his like was in like a bikini and a chain that was like cut but still in a chain, and then whenever the mother is captured, she's all like almost naked and in a chain, always objectified. So that was very kind of weird and unnecessary. I didn't really think that added anything to a story other than like, oh, this is a fantasy that someone can jerk off on. Like, I'm sorry, this is how it just seemed to me. So the whole plot just like, I liked that actions had consequences, so I sort of liked that the son died, even though he was my favorite character because he had the most development. I was definitely with him more than with the mother. I can definitely see how the religion being referred as mental health issue, same as hope, can definitely be triggering. It wasn't for me, but I can see why that would be. I see his point though, because it could be very damaging if you don't take offense to it, but you look what he actually means by it. I feel like it has merit, but I can definitely see why it could be problematic as well. It was just a hot mess. I don't know, it didn't really like, it was very promising when I looked at it, but then the whole story was a little bit all over the place, the whole plot was a little bit all over the place, and then the art style at first, at times it was really nice, and then at times it was like so messy and obscure, which is like really like unfinished, like everything is very sort of blurry and unfinished. It was just not, I don't think it was for me. I didn't hate it. I think it's like a 2.5 star. Would I recommend it? Depends on the person. Would I continue on with this? Not on my priority list. So basically, that being said, I'm very interested in going onto Goodreads now and checking what you guys said, because I haven't looked at any of it. So like, I've been really good not peeking at what you guys think, so I'm very interested to see what you guys think, because maybe you guys loved it. I know that Bunny didn't, because I've seen her review on Goodreads. I didn't avoid that somehow, so I'm really interested to see what you guys thought, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's do this. So Amanda is saying, I picked up the graphic novel at my local library. Unfortunately, the font is so tiny I can't read it, even with my glasses. I may go grab a magnifying glass. Bunny is saying, I got the ebook version from my library and oh my god, so tiny. Really? I didn't have any problems with mine. That's so odd. Cornelia is saying, well, I was able to read it through the Kindle, but I'm having a really hard time getting into the story. Maybe graphic novels are not for me. Maybe the story is not for me. Looking forward to hearing all your guys' thoughts. I would definitely say do not judge your graphic novel or comic experience or your liking of the graphic novels based on this one, because it's definitely not my favorite, definitely not something that I would give to a person who hasn't read anything in comics before, because it's definitely not the best of them. Even obviously everything is my opinion, but I personally don't think that you should judge it by that whatsoever. There's definitely better ones for you to start with, especially if you haven't done it before. So do not, please don't be discouraged by this one. Do not make assumptions that you don't like graphic novels or comics because of this one. Just don't do it, please. So Amanda is saying, I was actually going to read it with a magnifying glass because I want to participate in a book club led by one of my favorite booktubers. Thank you. Maybe next time. The M rating isn't for me, especially with a magnifying glass. I was intrigued by the concept of having to live underwater though. Hopefully next time, but next time we're having a proper book, so hopefully you join the next time. Michelle is saying, I did start reading it, but I couldn't continue. I was never that into comics, but the concept was really interesting to me, so I wanted to try it, but I didn't like the illustrations, too sketchy, so it was hard to understand what character was there, and I didn't get into the story, but I hope there are other people liking it. So I see a theme here. It's definitely one that is a bit more vague and sort of hard to follow, so again, please don't think that this is all graphic novels. Please give them a proper good try with something else than this. Okay, and we have Bunny then. Damn, I hate to pile on here, but I really didn't like this. It took me forever to even get into the story, and none of it held my attention. The first comic series I ever read and fell in love with was an adult comic, so it's not like I was expecting superhero style, but this is just, the art wasn't pleasing to my eye. It's incredibly cluttered. That's the word, yeah, it's very cluttered. I agree 100%. And it's hard to understand anything that's going on. I am far from a prude, but this comic falls into that. Just make the woman be naked and everyone will love it. Yes, thank you. I'm so glad I'm not the only one thinking that. Category that I really and truly hate. I really didn't care for any of the characters. I think I could have liked the dad, and I felt bad for the son, Malik, but I wasn't interested in finding the daughters. One of our children must take the helm. They carry the potent blood of the cane. You've done well, my beautiful sister. Do not forget our bargain. The hunters of Salus will pay you for the slaughter of your kin. This dialogue, I cannot. Okay, Becca is saying, I almost like this one, lol. I loved some of the artwork and the... Same, like I almost liked this when I began, because I am definitely not someone that... What did Bunny say? Far from prude. I can definitely fit in that category. I read Like for example Saga, I love that, but it had other things going on, just not like nudity for the sake of nudity. Even though the orgy part, I sort of understood what the point they were making, but it was just a little bit of parts of them, they seemed like, oh, what's it called? Logan! What is it called? What in anime they have these bits just to please the boys? What's it called?
Fan service.
Fan service, yeah.
Oh! Senpai!
Yeah, it seemed like parts of them were just for that, and yeah.
Oh no! Don't look at me!
I loved some of the artwork and the overall concept was cool, but I wanted underwater adventures and sea creatures, and I got a drug-induced tragic orgy. I thought the world building and character development was lacking, and some things didn't make sense. The eyeball thing, after saying that the suit is bloodline dependent, for example. True. I think that's why they took the daughters, but yeah, why the eyeball anyway? And instead of feeling strength from the mom, I just felt disconnected to her weird attitude, shapes, reality rambling that didn't seem like it fit in the world around her. I probably won't continue with the series. I should add that I do enjoy graphic novels. I read Monsters, Attack on Titan, and Avatar, if that one counts. Of course it counts! Avatar always counts. And I love them, so for those of you who had never read a graphic novel before, you didn't like this one, don't give up. Yes, 100%. Dom, A Journey to Books, is saying, I'm about to start this one on the last date of July. I see that there are a ton of dislikes for this, but I actually enjoyed it. I'm used to reading manga, so the art kind of threw me off, but it has some beautiful pieces. The dialogue was a little bit bad, but I enjoyed the idea of the story plot. It left me wanting to find out what happens next, and it did then to me it passes. I'm really happy that someone found this. As I said, like obviously this is like not for everyone, but some people might enjoy it, as it is for literally everything in the world. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm also very sorry for those who didn't, but you know, we try and then we see what happens, and then we share our thoughts, and it's great when we have different opinions so we can discuss things. So I'm very glad that you enjoyed it, Dom. Leah Apperly saying, I'm a huge graphic novel comic fan, but I actually DNF'd this as I just couldn't get into it. For some reason I just couldn't connect to the characters, and even the art style started to get on my nerves. Thanks, sis. I may try to pick it up again sometime, as the concept really intrigues me, but at the moment I just had to stop and read something else, which is a shame. I think it's completely fair enough. I don't even know if I would personally suggest you to continue with this. I'm thinking that there's so many comics out there in the world that there's definitely something better out there for us. So overall I feel like everyone's sort of agreeing that it's not the best piece ever, but we tried, we did it. I'm definitely wanting to do a comic book again at some point. I know it's not for everyone, but I feel like even for those who have tried this for the first time, I really wish that we have a better one next time, so you can see the beauty, what comic books can be, and how touching they can be, and how easy it is to get lost in them. So I really hope that we get another one that's a bit better and more engaging. But yeah, we tried. As I said, you'll never know until you try. I will count the points for the next one. The voting poll is already up. It's on Instagram as a photo, then people vote in the comments. So I'll count that. I'll make a video on the next one. Hopefully I'll make it soon so people can start reading. Very excited. We're gonna go back to the books again. But yeah, thank you guys for letting me know what you guys thought. Hope you guys have a better time with the next one next time. Yeah, hope you guys also join me on that one. Hope you're doing well. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you next time. Bye!